Hey YouTubers, just a little quick open question when it comes to Saw or Saw Legacy, Saw 8, Saw Final Chapter, like I like to call it sometimes. Honestly, guys, I want to know what you want from this film, and I'm going to share my thoughts on it just a little bit. I might do a more formal pitch for what I think it really should be sometime in the future, but honestly, this point is just kind of more or less formal video, just kind of opening the question up to the fans, So I already did a video about this, about whether or not this should be a sequel or a prequel or, some kind of a soft reboot or even just hard reboot. No, it seems like from what we've been getting is the reports coming in is that this is actually going to be somewhat of a soft reboot, if not just a direct sequel to the original 7 films. That's really unclear at this point, but we have seen photos. I made a video about it a while back. We've seen photos of apparently John Kramer's grave site being dug up, so we don't necessarily know what's going on there. One of the things we really don't know is how much time has passed from Saw 3D to the present day film. So we're just gonna have to wait and see about that. If you want my opinion, I'll do this. I'll cover this more in my real opinions later. But I really feel like we're probably going to get something that's a little bit off. I do not expect it to be taking place mere moments after the end of Saw 3D. The cool thing about that, and honestly, I'll save that for another video. I feel like there's a cool thing about what the Saw franchise did with that particular concept of actually simultaneously connecting films, especially in its latter films, that I don't feel like is given enough credit. But, at this point, 7 years has gone by since Saw 3D, and I honestly don't think that they could possibly do that without having some severe situation where you start messing up the continuity more than it actually is messed up. And but personally, I definitely think that's an interesting concept if they decide to actually do a significant time skip this time, other than, I guess, the 6 months, the 3 months to matter of weeks or months that the other films took place around each other, to the point where we were skipping years, or like this was in the same year, and then we were basically stopping around 2006. I think, yeah, I think the closest it got us 2007 in terms of legit continuity. So if that was actually true, we'd be looking at a decade old, or a decade has passed. And I think that's actually kind of cool. Something I would really like to see going into this film is that a significant amount of time has passed. Not only so we can actually recast characters that might have been younger at the time, or because of the time and real lifetime passing, it was affecting, I guess, people's actual involvement in actors that actually were able to come back. More so the young people, like Daniel Matthews' character, or Diana Gordon, or anyone like that, Jeff and Lynn's daughter. A lot of people wanted those people to come back, but they grow up, and unlike a lot of the other adults playing who were able to come back for even just small scenes of the entire series, there was going to be significant continuity problems there. So I can understand the plight they had when going into making each and every single one of those films. But I definitely like the idea of them doing some kind of a good sequel. And I guess, like I said, more formal pitch later. Honestly, this is just kind of a very relaxed video. I really would like, personally, I thought about this. If they were ever going to do a sequel after Saw 3D, I thought maybe what they could have done before knowing what we know now, and just the amount of time that's passed, that's kind of made that irrelevant, or something that's probably impossible at this point. But what I wanted back then, back in 2010, was I wanted I wanted a movie focusing entirely almost around Ryan's character, and not focusing on Dr. Gordon. I mean, Dr. Gordon playing in the background as the only surviving person of that whole Jigsaw legacy in almost the entire original 7 films. And I would want Ryan to play a part of, a reporter, maybe even going into Pamela Jenkins and getting her help to kind of track this down and figuring out what's all going on. And the tension between them, having Pamela being basically a pawn in the game, and Ryan basically having being expressed to have helped Dr. Gordon, him and Brad, helping him at the end to take down Hoffman and putting him in the bathroom, or maybe even implying that they helped take him down and then basically gave him to Dr. Gordon. Dr. Gordon took him to the bathroom, and then Ryan is while trying to keep his secret both from the police and Pamela. He's and trying to figure out all this, like why was he chosen and all this other stuff, meeting other people from the survivor group, or maybe even just kind of accosting people who were part of the survivor group or too afraid to tell their story, trying to piece things together, and eventually trying to piece something together that actually ends up making almost the entire thing make sense, as it were. Like, that's really, whether that would take a movie or two, that's really what I would want. And, just kind of as crazy as Saw 3D was, honestly, I think that would have been pretty cool. Like another two films that were a little lighter on one side, with none of the traps being in real time, all flashbacks from people who were surviving the traps or something that we hadn't seen before, but kind of retconning the continuity to kind of bring in more people and give a much bigger scope to everything. And instead of like focusing on the main character who's going through a trap, you have a main character who's going through some kind of a trap or situation in his head where he's just emotionally devastated by everything that's occurred, and potentially, or somewhat of a, I don't even know, like just like a potential, he doesn't know who to trust. He doesn't know what's going on. So you basically change the genre when you have like the torture porn stuff going on, or the torture stuff going on, whatever you want to call it, going on in the background, all these flashbacks, and then it's more of just like this political thriller that's building to some great reveal and some kind of idea of what this all meant. Because if there was one thing that Saw 3D basically didn't give us, is the whole concept of this could have meant something. Even if you had to retcon stuff, even if you had to do all this stuff, you could basically build up something where, why did John do this? And why did they have to put him, like, and why would they put Hoffman in the bathroom? And why would they do all this and that and that? So it was just kind of all left up to interpretation. And I don't necessarily like that, especially when you look at a series that's built on the concept of twists and turns and some kind of concept of finality. We didn't get that as fans, so that would have been something interesting. Now, obviously, like I said, that's more of an idea for immediately after. I feel like too much time has passed, so this is probably not what Saw Legacy is going to be about, but I'm really excited to see what they actually came up with, considering the talent involved. I mean, the talent for this film is phenomenal, and I cannot wait to see how they approach it and how they continue the continuity while also paying homage and respect to it, or what came before, because I'm really glad they're not throwing it away. But this is really a video for you guys to kind of, what do y'all want from Saw 8? Or back when Saw 7 was out, and you guys are all fans if you're watching this, like, what did you want? It was like, were you satisfied with Saw 7, Saw 3D, whatever you want to call it? And did you want something more? What was your main idea for a sequel and all this other stuff? Tell me how they would explain other things away, like maybe character connections or stuff that was kind of left dangling and hanging, and all this weird concepts and stuff, character connections that could have been there. Anything, I remember back in the day with House of Jigsaw. If y'all remember back, that's a long time ago, guys. I mean, it was just a couple years ago, almost a decade ago, honestly. And those were the days, man. If y'all remember that, if y'all were around back then and y'all remember all the awesome fan theories, I mean, dude, we were better than them. They took our ideas at the end there. The whole bringing back Dr. Gordon was just like the most easy fan theory. They could have, like, the most, this is what they want, let's just give it to them, and yada yada yada, we don't know how to end this. So y'all guys remember that. If you were there back then, y'all remember just how awesome we were at coming up with just everything. So make sure to tell me what y'all think about this in the comment section below. Tell me what you wanted from Saw 8 before so much time has passed, or just now, what do you want? I mean, if they do a significant time skip or not, like, what do you want now? What did you want back then? I'm going to stop saying that. Guys, make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Share this video out. I want to get as many opinions about this as possible, because I think it is an interesting concept. But anyway, guys, I'll catch y'all in the next video, Saw video. For the foreseeable future, one Saw video a week. News whenever news comes out, whenever news is actually ready to come out. And hopefully soon, fingers crossed. Like I keep saying, there is no official trailer yet, so do not look and be fooled by anything you see. Some deductive reasoning, guys. Some deductive reasoning, please. Like, don't just take things as face value. If it looks fake, it's fake. fake. Lionsgate makes pretty awesome trailers. So yeah, guys, just let me know in the comment section below. Let me know about all this. One video for Saw a week, maybe 2 in the foreseeable future, especially if they start picking up, which some of them really have. I'm really appreciative of that. I'm really glad I'm not the only one super excited for this stuff. So what do you guys want from Saw 8? What did you want from Saw 8? I'll check y'all in the next video. Bye.